No, 88, AB 2536, Chow. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2536 by Assembly Member Chow, enacting elementary and secondary education.
Mr. Chow, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. AB 2536 addresses the issue of sexual bullying by, one, requiring the California Department of Education to post information regarding sexual bullying on the California Healthy Kids Resource Center internet website, and two, clarifying that sexual bullying is a part of cyberbullying so that public schools can act when students are sexually bullying other students. Sexual bullying is a form of bullying commonly facing teenagers today. It is a behavior that can include harassing an individual or others through comments and actions that are sexual in nature. Sexting, or the act of exchanging of sexual images and videos electronically, has become a recent occurrence in the lives of young people and is oftentimes a major form of sexual bullying. Sexual bullying has real consequences. Unfortunately, some teenagers have committed suicide because of the effect of sexual bullying. Additionally, some states have begun prosecuting teenagers who sexted under state child pornography laws. AB 2536 will help schools keep their campus climates positive and rich for learning and cut down on incidents of sexual bullying. With that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no discussion on the item, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Aye 63, noes 2. The measure passes. File item 89, AB 2586, Gatto. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2586 by Assembly Member Gatto, enacting the parking.
Mr. Gatto, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Assembly Bill 2586 is a parking bill of rights. It's appropriate for the state to step in when local governments have turned parking into just another hassle for citizens. It really has become a de facto tax in many jurisdictions where local governments use the money to backfill so many different things that they wouldn't otherwise be doing. This bill enacts statewide minimum standards of care, prohibits things like ticketing motorists who park at broken meters that the city has failed to fix, prohibits cities from hiring bounty hunters to maximize the revenue for unpaid tickets. It's a good bill. It protects our citizens, and I ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Harper, you are recognized.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the author for bringing this forward. This is something that I think a lot of citizens have complained, I know, to me about when I was on the city council, and so thank you very much for acting on something which I think a lot of citizens are frustrated about.
Seeing and hearing no further discussion on the item, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 55. Noes 6. The measure passes. File item 90, AB 2588, Chu. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2588 by Assembly Member Canson Chu, enacting to insurance.
Mr. Chu, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to present AB 2588. Is a consumer protection bill that will individually license independent insurance adjusters consistent with 34 other states and relevant national standards. Those changes will enhance consumer protection, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion on the item, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. 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 Mr. Chu, what's your pleasure? The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 41, noes 25. The measure passes. File item 92, AB 2629, Hernandez. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2629 by Assemblymember Roger Hernandez and accolade in the court. Reporters.
Mr. Hernandez, you're recognized.
Madam Speaker and members, Assembly Bill 2629 brings parity to the current transcript fee structure by requiring a transcript fee adjustment. California has not adjusted court reporters' transcript fee in over 25 years, since 1990. Official court reporters employed by the courts are currently paid under a dual compensation structure in which the base salary of a court reporter is supplemented by the income from preparing required transcripts and providing other required transcript services. The dual compensation structure protects the state from bearing the full cost of transcript preparation and other transcript services. This avoids the resulting consequences of overtime liability related to these services. Recent amendments and appropriations reduce the fiscal cost of the bill. AB 2629 advances a modest transcript fee adjustment staggered over the next 5 years to bring forward a more balanced and fair compensation for court reporters. This bill is supported by various court reporter associations across our state and is supported by SCIU. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Wagner, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Two problems with the bill that lead me to oppose it. One, increasing the fees is what we have been doing with everything going on in our court system over the course of the last several years. We are piling on and piling on. Filing fees are going up and document fees are going up and now court reporter fees are going up. And at some point we are pricing the average citizen out of our system of justice, which is a complete betrayal of what we as a government ought be doing. And this is merely piling on. It's also unnecessary because, little known fact, there is another component to what the court reporters get paid. Not only do they get paid for the particular transcript and by the word in the transcript, but they own the copyright to the transcript. Now, we had an earlier bill dealing with copyrights, something completely different, but the issue's been teed up. We are giving to employees of the state copyright protection in the transcripts. Now, there is virtually zero creativity in coming up with these transcripts. They are listening to what is said in court, they are writing it down, and they are transcribing it. They aren't creating anything like a playwright does when they put words on a page, like a novelist does, like anyone in our entertainment industry does, and yet they get compensated in addition to what's in this bill that way. So the situation they have isn't as bad as it might appear when we first say, hey, there hasn't been an increase in a long time. There is adequate compensation, and we can't keep piling fee upon fee upon fee upon our citizens to just go get justice. I urge a no vote.
Seeing no further discussion or debate, Mr. Hernandez, would you like to close?
Madam Speaker, this bill has no registered opposition. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
The clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 42, noes 23. The measure passes. Passing temporarily on file item 92, file item 95, AB 27. Passing temporarily on file item 95, file item 96, AB 2777 Nazarian. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2777 by Assemblymember Nazarian and relating to business.
Mr. Nazarian, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. AB 2777 is a public safety and consumer protection bill. This bill allows a transportation network company, known as a TNC, to request a Department of Justice background check for a driver. A DOJ background check is based on fingerprint submissions and is a powerful tool for agencies, employers, and companies to access applicants' criminal histories and verify their identities. All criminal background check requests must be authorized by statute. This authority is vital as the TNC's business model relies heavily on customer safety. To instill trust and enhance safety, TNCs often use rating systems and/or employ private background checks that rely on public databases, names, and social security numbers. While these tools are valuable, private checks and rating systems do not guarantee complete accuracy. Unfortunately, high-profile incidents have arisen in the past, and these incidents point to the deficiency of the tools currently in place and the need for TNCs to potentially receive support by requesting DOJ background checks. By allowing TNC to access DOJ criminal history databases, AB 2777 gives TNCs yet another tool to uncover criminal history not discovered through traditional methods, prevent fraud, and enhance its goal of providing safe and reliable service. Additionally, to avoid liability concerns, I plan to address and amend this bill in the Senate. It is important to note that this is a permissive bill and does not impose a mandate on this industry. This bill received bipartisan support in policy committees and has received support from public safety, such as police chiefs and the California Department of Justice. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Mr. Gatto, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to read, Madam Speaker.
Without objection.
Thank you. So several times the Assembly Committee on Utilities and Commerce heard this bill, and several times during the presentation of the bill, committee members asked for a commitment from the author to take an amendment to clarify something very simple, which is that the option for companies to access these background checks would not subject them to gotcha lawsuits by people after the fact who come in and said, you had this ability and you didn't use it, so therefore you're on the hook for civil liabilities. Page 5 of the transcript, I said to the author, you're going to clarify what you said on the mic, that you're going to take this amendment not to subject them to civil liability going forward. And I was given, the response was, you have my word. Page 6 of the transcript, someone else asked that question, and the word was again given. Page 8 of the transcript, I asked for that again, and again the response was, you have my commitment on that. Page 9 of the transcript, the vice chair said, I'm asking for your commitment that you're going to take this amendment. And the gentleman from the Valley said, I've been here long enough to know the importance of keeping my word. And then later on I asked again, and again the author said, I asked for an amendment going forward as a courtesy, that the bill would leave the committee but that the amendment would be taken. And the author said, you've got it, you've got it. I'm not going to bore you with all the other times in the transcript where that happened, but around here all we've got is our word. We give our word. The word should be given not lightly, it should be actually followed through on. Anybody who cares about process has to vote no on this bill. Anybody who cares about substance has to vote no on this bill. The substance is a danger. It will subject these companies to gotcha lawsuits. The process is even worse. We have a commitment that was given, a commitment that was violated. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been in the Assembly. On June 10th, I will start my 7th year in the Assembly. I have never spoken on the floor against an Assembly Caucus, Democratic Caucus bill, ever, in my time here. But I am asking for a no vote on this bill.
Mr. Hadley, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just a quick addition. I rise in opposition to this bill. The author characterizes this as authorizing many great things for the TNC companies, but I just want to make sure everybody in this chamber knows that this is not a bill that any of the TNC companies want. I believe the reason these amendments haven't been taken is that those amendments go to the heart of the motivation for this bill, and I request a no vote.
Mr. Patterson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, very quickly, as Vice Chair of Utility and Commerce, I rise to ask the same of my colleague and Chair, Mr. Gatto, for the precise reasons that he did state. And also, as other colleague reminded us, there is more to this than just the procedural problem. There really are significant issues with respect to what is the intent and what is behind all of this. The opposition was very clear from TechNet and from all of the gig economy folks and individuals. But I think the fundamental reason for voting no here is because this does subject these organizations to frivolous litigation and lawsuit. It is one thing to say that there is a presumption or permissiveness that you may use, but there are other lawyers on the floor here who are much better at this than this particular member. But I do rise to request that you seriously consider this. Please vote no on it. The unintended consequences are significant and serious, and 17 times on the record we were promised that there would be amendments to deal with the concerns that we raise here today, and none of those concerns have been met. Respectfully ask for a no vote.
Mr. Williams, you're recognized.
I'll be voting for this bill, but I'm not rising in support or opposition per se, but I want to clarify something because I was there at that hearing that is being cited, and my recollection is that the author of this bill very clearly avoided being pinned down to the amendments that were being requested of him to take. I remember it very clearly. I remember that he avoided time and time again taking those amendments, and in fact, I said something about it. I said I wouldn't expect an author to be taking amendments like that, particularly ones that are not in any written form. So I understand how my colleague from Burbank and my colleague from Clovis would see things in that manner, but from my perspective, the author made no commitments of that kind. He in my recollection, he made a commitment to look at certain things.
Mr. Gatto, state your point of personal privilege.
Point of personal privilege. He did not take the amendments that day. Our objection is that he committed to take the amendments, was not done.
Mr. Gatto, your attack, there was no personal attack. It was just a disagreement on what happened that day. Mr. Williams, are you done? Seeing and hearing no further discussion or debate, Mr. Nazarian, would you like to close?
Sure, happy to. It's interesting for your reputation to be sullied in front of your colleagues, but it's okay. Some of our careers are coming to a short end soon. To the gentleman from East Sacramento.
Mr. Calderon, please state your point of order.
I believe the debate is getting far off the point. Let's just ask members, and as well as the author, to please stay on point with the bill and to avoid attacking members either now or going forward personally in any personal way. Just keep it about the bill and about the issues.
Mr. Calderon, your point is well taken. Mr. Nazarian, please stick to the merits of your bill.
Thank you. I guess the damage has been done by now. If I have my colleagues' attention, what I'd like to let all of you know is that what I had committed to in committee was that I'm happy to work with the chair on any item having to do with the liability issue. He came up with his version. I have my version. And I'm going to be advancing my version in the Senate should this bill continue on to the Senate side. I am not here to damage my reputation, nor am I here to not do the work that I've put in for 3 years to advance public protections for my constituents. Nothing in this bill states that the TNC will be liable if they choose not to do a Department of Justice background check. This bill is a permissive bill. If there was negligence involved, negligence at the end of the day is failure to fulfill a duty with reasonable care. The TNCs are doing everything, are saying they're doing everything to make sure that they offer their protections to their constituents. This is only yet another tool. And with that, I ask for your support and your vote. This is an important issue, not just to my constituents, but all of your constituents as well. Thank you.
We're requesting unanimous consent to allow Mr. Hernandez to speak. His mic was blocked by another member. So, Mr. Hernandez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to speak on behalf of my constituents. This bill is veiled with the message of wanting to have public safety as a focal point. But when you look closely behind the veil, you come to understand that the agencies that say they want access to records from the Department of Justice are the same businesses that don't want to partake in the Department of Justice background checks. So they say they want to provide you a lift, a ride from point A to point B, but like other industries that play by the book and require their employees under state law to have Department of Justice background checks, these companies again, related to this measure, to this proposal, are saying, we don't want to play by that book. We won't require, and I'm talking about Uber and Lyft and like, we don't want to play by that book. We will not require our employees to be background check by the Department of Justice. But we want to have it in writing that we have the right to ask the Department of Justice to provide us records should we ask, should we request. I think that's very disingenuous. This is a bill that is meant to look like it's doing something good, but it's empty. It's an empty shell, and for that, I request a no vote.
Mr. Nazarian has already closed. With that, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. Mr. Nazarian, what's your pleasure? Mr. Nazarian, what's your pleasure? Mr. Nazarian moves the call. Returning back to file item 95, AB 2730, Alejo, the clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2730 by Assemblymember Alejo and others, and Act relating to transportation.
Mr. Alejo, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and members. AB 2730 is a district bill that would allow the transfer of proceeds from a sale of a former Prunedale bypass right-of-way parcels of Highway 101 in Monterey County to the Transportation Agency of Monterey County for use on future transportation projects in the county. Transportation improvements in Monterey County are being delayed due to the lack of adequate funding. Proceeds from the sale on these parcels would help fund critical highway safety and congestion relief improvement projects in the county that was originally intended to be used on that 101 corridor. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate on the item, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. 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 The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 44, noes 18. The measure passes. File item 97, AB 2821, Chu. The clerk will read.